Welcome to our road trip through the western part of Washington State. We start our trip by flying from Frankfurt to Seattle via San Francisco. It is our first flight in business class, and we enjoy the luxury and the comfort of United Polaris business class. After 10 hours of flight, we reach San Francisco and relax in the Polaris Lounge. From our lounge, we have to transfer to Terminal E, which involves a 15-minute walk, fortunately without any further security checks. There, we could sit down in the normal United Lounge again, but we are a little exhausted by now. The flight departs on time, but in Seattle, the captain needs a little more time than usual to find a parking spot. Hopefully, this won't affect the rest of our trip. After calling for it, the transfer bus arrives fairly quickly and takes us to our Sure Stay Plus Best Western Scenic Airport. Here, we just collapse into bed, take a little melatonin, and fall asleep after about 26 hours from door to door.
And off we go on our sightseeing tour. In the Seattle area, there are two trolls relatively close to each other, Frankie Feet Splinter and the Fremont Troll. The former is located near a museum at the harbor and, like most other trolls, is made of wood. Next up is the Fremont Troll, which is made entirely of concrete. It is located near Fremont Avenue under the Aurora Bridge.
The next destination, as the sun slowly sinks toward the horizon, is Cary Park, which is said to offer one of the best views of the Seattle skyline. Yes, it looks very beautiful, but I think it could be even better. We drive to the end of Highland Drive and then walk to watch the sunset at 8th Highway. Sleepless in Seattle, that has its advantages. You're up early, can have breakfast early, and get stuck in traffic early. Why? We really wanted to go to the northern part of Mount Rainier National Park, to the Sunrise area. Our hotel is in Everett, north of Seattle. That means we definitely have to drive through Seattle on the I-405, like hundreds of other Washingtonians. At 6 a.m., our estimated travel time was 2 hours and 15 minutes, but by the time we finally hit the road, it had already increased to just under 3 hours. But we're in no hurry, and right now there's thick fog over the coast and the cities. The weather forecast promises improvement. Already on the way up, the mountain scenery showed us what beauty awaited us. Mount Rainier towers majestically over the surrounding countryside with its white cap and glaciers. We decided to hike to Frozen Lake to trail climb gently, passing many colorful berries, which we did not taste, however. Again and again, the trees gave us a view of Mt. Rainier. Finally, Frozen Lake came into view. I admit I was a little disappointed. The lake is a reservoir that supplies the Sunrise area. Back at the car, we had covered about 5.5 kilometers at an altitude of over 2,000 meters, which was a good achievement for the third day of our trip. The first destination on the return trip was the road to White River Campground. As the outlet of one of Mount Rainier's glaciers, we had a wild and beautiful river in front of us. The last destination on the itinerary was Tipsu Lake. I had seen photos where Mount Rainier was beautifully reflected on the water's surface. The mountain was now shrouded in haze and the water's surface was rippled by the wind. This morning, we drove to the Future of Flight Museum to visit the Boeing factory from there. Huge, with a floor space larger than the Vatican. The mighty halls stretch out across the plain. From the museum's observation deck, you can only see the buildings in the distance, but directly in front of you, in an extremely ugly green color, are various flying prototypes from Boeing. Inside the museum itself, there is a lot to see about the future of aviation. Afterwards, we went to Golden Garden Park, where we enjoyed the salad we had brought with us on the back of our truck with a view of Puget Sound. We continue on to Lincoln Park. To get there, we have to cross the West Seattle Bridge at a lofty height. In Lincoln Park, there is another troll named Brunidoon, the way of the Bird Kings. Today, we plan to drive to Sequim on the Olympic Peninsula. You can reach this place the long way round, heading south past Seattle and Tacoma, then turning north again at Olympia and keeping the coastline on your right. But we decided to take the ferry, since it's possible that other residents of Seattle and the surrounding cities also want to spend their weekend on the peninsula. We got up early to take the ferry from Edmonds to Kingston. The rush wasn't that big and we were among the first to board the ship. The ferry is huge and cars are stacked on several floors. After a half-hour crossing, we left the ship and turned our attention to the next stop on our journey. Just a few miles from the terminal lies the small town of Poulsbo. Poulsbo was founded in the 1880s by Norwegian immigrants. His compatriots found the landscape fjords, lakeshores, mountains similar to Norway, which is why many settled there. In the front street you can see Norwegian-style buildings. Apparently, Norwegian bread is well known and famous, which is why a long line has formed in front of the bakery. On Bainbridge Island there is another troll named Pia the Peacekeeper. We stop off in Port Gamble for a short break and a stroll around. The dahlias were in full bloom and harmonized beautifully with the trees slowly turning their autumn colors. The general store has a mini museum on the second floor where you can admire all the shells that have been collected here since the dawn of time. Afterwards, we treated ourselves to a detour to Mount Walker Viewpoint. After driving about 4 miles up a steep dirt road, we were rewarded with a sweeping view of the landscape. There was an exciting view to the west. The Tunnel Creek fire was sending a lot of smoke into the air. Fortunately, we didn't notice anything else. As the sky clears up at this very moment, Hurricane Ridge in Olympic National Park seems like the best destination for the day. So we turn north from Port Angeles to reach the heights via 17-mile long, easily navigable road. The route leads through more or less dense forest in even denser fog, and the clouds mean that virtually nothing of the beauty of the mountains can be seen. Then finally the clouds break and the sun shines through. We set off on a short hike, because the clouds only give us a glimpse of the beauty hidden behind them. In some places, the fog on the road is so thick that you can't see your hand in front of your face. Then we turn west onto the 101 to drive to the Scenic Falls. Here we have to drive 14 miles up into the mountains. Once we arrive at the parking lot, we still have to walk 0.8 miles. On our way back, we make a short stop on the left side of the road. That's where Cascade Falls are located. We leave the park and Port Angeles behind us, along with the sun, which shines low in the rearview mirror. Today, we have set our sights on the northwesternmost point of the continental U.S. outside of Alaska. This is Cape Flattery, located in the Maca Indian Reservation. To get there, we drive through Port Angeles. Shortly after passing through, we turn west onto Route 112. The road can best be described as secondary. It is as winding as the road to Hana, has at least as many potholes. The path leads downwards, partly on wide paths and partly on wooden walkways, until we stand in front of one of several viewpoints. A wild coastline opens up below us, the waves crashing wildly against the rocks. Opposite, on an island, stands the lighthouse of the same name, at the foot of which a colony of sea lions lounges comfortably. We can't get enough of the view and linger with the other nature lovers to stare out at the sea and maybe spot a whale. Our next destination on the west coast is Rialto Beach. The beach is known for its huge driftwood logs, some of which look as if Poseidon himself had thrown them ashore. Rangers sometimes jokingly refer to them as nature's pickup sticks. The sea here is wild. Many scenes from the Twilight movie are based on locations around La Push, and Rialto Beach fans still come here today to take selfies. At Crescent Lake, we take a short drive out to East Beach. It feels really peaceful and quiet after all the people we encountered on the hike. Today, we are heading to Aberdeen at the west coast. We do not take the road along Hood Canal, but we choose the route via Port Angeles and Forks. According to the movie Twilight, there are supposed to be vampires there. We take a short break at the La Pole picnic area on Lake Crescent. Here, too, we notice that we are in the Pacific Northwest. Rainforest is everywhere. Trees grow tall into the sky. After we passed Forks, without seeing any vampires, only the Carzabella, we take a detour to the most interesting parts of the Olympic Peninsula. Deep within Washington's Olympic National Park lies a world untouched by time. The Hoh Rainforest, where giants rise through mist, moss glows like emerald fire, and every breath feels like magic. Next we reach Rialto Beach, a wild coast, where the ocean meets the edge of the world. Driftwood scattered like memories, sea stacks rising through the mist, a place where time slows, and nature whispers in waves. The next day, we drive north from Aberdeen along the coast to the Tree of Life. How long will it remain standing? On the way back along Lake Queenalth, we visit the Queenalth Rainforest. Where the mountains meet the mist, Lake Queenalth lies in quiet harmony, a mirror to the ancient Queenalth Rainforest, where every drop of rain carries a story older than time. Today, we're heading a little further south from Aberdeen to Long Beach. On the way is West Harbour, which is essentially the southern gateway to Grace Harbour, the large bay at the end of which Aberdeen is located. A viewing tower has been built there so that tourists can quickly get an overview. We look around, first at the harbour. In the other direction, the open sea stretches out, the waves breaking with brute force against the breakwaters. A little further towards the harbour, we park the car right by the quays and take a leisurely stroll across the jetties. Crab fishermen line the jetty. Everything is open. No one asks any questions, and we are greeted warmly. Opposite, on one of the jetties, various sea lions are lounging around, their roars clearly audible to us. After we checked in at our hotel in Long Beach, we spend the evening at Fort Canby State Park. The sun is just setting and we are completely alone with a view of the lighthouse and Cape Disappointment. Today, a visit to Astoria and the surrounding area in Oregon is on our to-do list. To do this, we head south towards the Astoria-Megler Bridge. Passing Fort Columbia, we drive onto the steel structure, which is over 6 kilometers long. At Fort Stevens, we make a short break above the beach. After we left Fort Stevens, we drive to the Astoria Column. The imposing structure stretches up into the sky. Even from the parking lot, you have a great view of the mouth of the Columbia River. Then we climb 164 steps to the top, where the view is breathtaking. We enjoy the sunset sitting in comfortable chairs and then make our way back home to Long Beach. Today, we're heading to Oregon, to Lincoln City. We're heading south. Summer, sun, and warmth await us there, hopefully. There are many destinations to visit on the way to our hotel on the Oregon coast, but due to the late hour, We pick out a few highlights. An absolute must-see is Akola State Park. As we continue south, we pass Tillamook and Garibaldi. After checking into the hotel, we head to the Taft District, where we slow down with great energy and speed. Many beachgoers enjoy the popular pastime of collecting agates. The sun has now set, and it's impossible to see the agates anymore. We turn around and slowly walk back to the car along Southwest 51st Street. Today, we want to head south, at least as far as Depot Bay, where there are supposed to be whales. We make our first stop at Bowler Bay Scenic Viewpoint. On the one hand, you can see whales there, but the view of the surrounding coastal landscape is even more impressive and more common, unless there is coastal fog. The coast is wild. The waves crash against the rocks with tremendous force and sometimes splash visitors who stand too close to the edge. We slowly continue rolling south. The sun has given way to thick fog as we try to see the Yaquina Head Lighthouse and maybe even take a picture of it. After returning to Lincoln City, we drive back to the Taft District to complete our collection of agates. Although we were there yesterday and although many collectors spend the whole day searching, we still find stones, some larger, some smaller. The sun sets again this evening. Golden yellow, the ball slowly sinks toward the horizon. This time, it disappears behind the clouds before finally setting. Today, we have set ourselves a specific goal, which also marks the southernmost point of our trip. And that is Thor's Well. This point is located south of Newport and Yachits, about an hour's drive away. We allow ourselves a first break at Devil's Punch Bowl. Devil's Punch Bowl was probably formed when the sea caves were washed out by the surf, then connected to each other, and finally the cave roof collapsed. We pass Newport first, then Waldport, and finally Yachits, without stopping again. There is another stop at Devil's Churn. This is a narrow inlet that has been carved out of basalt volcanic rock over thousands of years by the pounding waves. We hike from the upper viewpoint all the way down to the bottom to watch the waves up close. The waves crash against the rocks with indescribable force, and the thunder can be heard for miles around. Thor's Well is a deep, shell-shaped opening in the basalt coast south of Cape Perpetua. It looks as if the ocean is disappearing into a bottomless hole. This appearance is caused by water flowing in and out through openings in the bottom. Next to Thor's Well is a blowhole, an opening in the rock where water shoots in from below and is then forced out in a fountain of varying size. On the way back, we visit Cape Perpetua, a viewpoint that can be easily reached by car. From there, you have a unique view of the beautiful Oregon coast. Back down below, the road took us to Yachits, a cute little town that we always enjoyed driving through and stopping at in the past. One last time, we drive to the Taft District in Lincoln City to collect agates. Tomorrow we're heading to Portland. We have dotted the route to our hotel in Portland with a few games, the first of which is Cape Kiwande in Pacific City. We have climbed the large dune several times on previous vacations and, more importantly, ran back down again. The dune glows majestically in the sun and the beach is almost empty. As we get closer, we see one of the dory boats pulling up onto the beach. This is a special feature here. There is no pier, no harbor. You just drive until there is no more water under the keel, pull up the outboard motor, and then push the boat trailer under the boat. Then we drive through Oregon's countryside. Green meadows, forests, rivers, and pastures alternate. We continue north on the interstate. We want to visit Old Ball. one of the nicest trolls in the Northwest. He is located in the southwestern part of Portland in a tiny Swedish community. He looks curiously into the open roof, a funny idea. Today, we are heading to Mount Ho. First, we visit downtown Portland with its many bridges. It is impressive to see what has been built in this city to cross the river. On the way, we stop at a Winco and admire the huge quantities of bulk food that are sold here. Then we head east to the Portland Women's Forum. A sweeping view of the Columbia River Gorge opens up before us. Our next stop takes us to Bonneville Dam. It's always nice to take a break here, drive past the huge turbine installations, and then visit the fish ladders. At the fish hatchery, we visited an old acquaintance, Herman the sturgeon. I'm not entirely sure if he recognized us, but I swear I saw a slight smile on the corners of his mouth. Here, we even saw a few salmon clinging to the railing as they struggled up the steps. Finally, we entered Trillium Lake into the navigation system, from whose shores you can see Mount Hood beautifully reflected. But the trip was worth it, even though the reflection was virtually non-existent due to the children splashing around. From there, we had a 15-minute drive to Timberline Lodge. Once we arrived, we could see the mountain, of course, but we also got to visit the beautiful lodge from the inside. The viewing platform offers a great view of the surrounding landscape. Mount Jefferson greets us in the background. On the way down, we take one last look at the sunset. Today, we are heading to DuPont, a small town at the southernmost end of the waterways that make the SeaDac area so attractive and livable. On the way from Portland, we were able to take a tour to Mount St. Helens, to Johnson Ridge. The road is very well constructed and crosses several impressive bridges, the most beautiful of which is the Hofstad Creek Bridge. We stopped at a visitor center, where a volunteer gave us information about the volcanic eruption. He used to work as a lumberjack himself and had lots of stories to tell. Then we continued on to Elk Rock Viewpoint. You can see the volcano very clearly from each of these viewpoints, and it looks different from every angle. Our route then ends at Coldwater Lake, which is ideal for various hikes. A short detour to one of the islands with a boardwalk offers a wonderful view of the lake and the beautifully colored foliage. Today, we are heading to the paradise area of Mount Rainier. We pass Alder Lake. Here we are met with a frightening sight. The original water level has dropped significantly and hundreds of tree stumps protrude from the lake bed like memorials. We go on a hike to Myrtle Falls. While we are there, the sky clears and we get to see Mount Rainier in all its beauty. On the way back, we encounter a female bear roaming through the blueberry bushes with her cubs, feeding on winter fat. What an experience! Driving down the hill, we make a last stop at Narada Falls, before we drive back to Costco and grab a slice of pizza. This day, we're traveling from DuPont to Oak Harbor on Whidbey Island. Our first destination is the High Steel Bridge on Forest Road 2340. It used to be a railroad bridge, but now it has been converted for car traffic and spans a deep gorge. In Port Angeles, we board the ferry. The crossing takes about half an hour, and we enjoy the beautiful weather on the upper deck. We spend the evening at West Beach to watch the sunset. Today's itinerary covers the northern part of the island, starting at Deception Pass. This is a narrow strait between Whidbey Island and Fidalgo Island, known for its striking turquoise currents and the imposing Deception Pass Bridge. From the bridge and the shore, there is a breathtaking view to the west of Puget Sound and Vancouver Island. To see the bridge in all its beauty, you have to drive to another part of the state park, where you can enjoy the following view from one of the beaches. From here, we continued on to the small town of Coupeville. It is the second oldest town in the state of Washington and is known for its historic Victorian houses and picturesque waterfront. Ultimately, it is a small town with a charming, historic character and regular art and cultural offerings, which thrives on tourism. Not far from Coupeville is the Price Sculpture Forest. Visitors can admire various art installations along a 1-kilometer circular trail. We spend the evening at Small Beach in the far west of the island. Today it's pouring rain. We drive to historic Oak Harbor. Here, old stone houses line the streets. Many art shops vie for the attention of customers. We continue on to the marina and then further south, where Admiralty Head Lighthouse is located on the west coast. The last destination of this rainy day is Greenbank Farm, an adventure farm with a very nice shop. Today, we are traveling from Oak Harbor to Renton. We leave Whidbey Island heading north and cross Deception Pass. Shortly thereafter, we arrive at Rosario Beach with the statue Maiden of Deception Pass, which is shrouded in Native American legend. Once we arrive on Hidalgo Island, we head to a hidden gem, the narrow road up to Mount Erie. From here, especially when the sun is shining, you have a fantastic view of Puget Sound. A little further north is the port city of Anacortes, from where many ferries depart for the surrounding islands. A few days earlier, we had heard about the town of Loch Connor, which is really worth a visit. A pretty boardwalk and a charming old town invite you to stroll and shop. Now we hit the road and head south on I-5. Our penultimate destination is the Troll in Osaka with the proud Maine Jacob to trees. Finally, we visit the Snoqualmie Falls, which are close to the Troll. Our last day takes us to Seattle. We drive downtown and admire the elegant architecture that proudly stretches up into the sky. We visit Pike Place Market, a lively and bustling shopping street where fish is still sold fresh over the counter. From one of the many viewing platforms, we enjoy the view of the impressive skyline. Fortunately, it's not raining. A little further north is the Ballard Lock. Downstream is an old railway bridge that can be raised. Sea lions and seals frolic in the water, catching salmon. A large tugboat is moored in the lock, and we watch from close up as the gates open and a boat heads inland. After the ships have passed the bridge, it is lowered again. We then drive to our final destination of the day, the Space Needle. This 184-meter-high observation and restaurant tower is located right next to the Museum of Pop Culture, a modern building with futuristic shapes made of metal plates. It's our last day, departure day. We return our truck to Hertz and take the transfer shuttle to the terminal. A 2-hour flight takes us to San Francisco. There we enjoy our stay at the Polaris Lounge until our flight to Frankfurt departs. After 10 hours of flight, we arrived tired, but full of memories in Germany.